Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm Bevan Shorty. Today we're going to take a look at Assorted Crisis events, and I'm honestly going to struggle to remain unbiased on this one. It's one that I was really looking forward to. The fact that your reviews are just dropping now is basically because we've had some other things in this week that we had the potential of selling out of, whereas this one was on my pull list, so I was like, I can wait a while for it. And for people in America, yeah, issue 1 came out last week. I know it did, but there's been some problems in Image Comics getting stuff to the UK, so I only got mine this week. So, my review of it is, well, yeah, it's good. Like I say, it's hard to be unbiased on this one. Denny's Camp, in the past few years, has been on my best of the year lists more than once. 20th Century Man literally was the best thing I'd read the year it came out, and I put his Ultimates above Ultimate Spider-Man. The guy's got game. Like, genuinely is a really fantastic writer, and he does high concept kind of stuff and down to earth kind of stuff really effectively. In this one, it is exactly that mix of the two which does make it work for me. You take this world where a sort of temporal phenomenon or whatever they call it are going on, which basically means things from the past are appearing in the present as well as things from potential futures, causing all manner of things to get wrong, to be confusing, to go wrong. But we're seeing it through the eyes of people who just live in this world. It's going to be an anthology, and the first one we're dealing with is somebody whose street has been basically zoned by the city to be somewhere where people making post-apocalyptic or dystopic fiction movies can film, because most of the work's done. This amount of stuff that's gone wrong right here, right now, means that it just means they can film it straight away. So what we get is her life, and it's a fantastic snapshot of what it would be. There's lots of little world-building moments dropped in there, but at its heart it is just like a character thing of who this person is and how she gets through the day. The more interesting factors being, one day she goes to work and it turns out the place she works is from a different reality today, so they have no record of her there. So she gets a day off, but she doesn't get paid because in her reality she never went to that job. Her clock gets broken because they're blowing up the film set outside and it knocked off the thing. But because time isn't kept by clocks anymore, it's this entire, like, a different part of physics. Most people don't really give a damn about clocks, and she has to really try hard to convince somebody that it's really important that this clock gets fixed, which means every day she goes to a clock repair person and tells another fantastical story about it. All the while, there's a different post-apocalyptic story happening on her doorstep. It could be aliens and robots and monsters. It could be the 4th or 5th Reich with Hitler 3 going on. It could be just some post-apocalyptic world and some fantastic writing at this point. Today's dystopia is one where people just stop seeing each other as people, or words to that effect, and it really cuts to the kind of writing Camp does very, very effectively, by boiling an awful lot of what makes things terrible down to just digestible chunks. And here we get to talk about the art a little bit as well, because I have to check a name here. I'm bad from names. Zawadzki does a really, really good job of the right amount of detail, and with Jordi Belair on colours, we get this really nice mix of different palettes used for different feelings and emotions. And there's a really nice trick I've seen in it where we have like an almost uniform colour for the backdrop, and when there's really interesting things happening, like really good visual storytelling in the back of scenes, there's no additional colouring done to make them stand out. These are all part of the world, so it rewards you for taking the time to go and look into it. There's also some nice uses of page layout where in the guttering, or sorry, the margins around the art, you'll occasionally get panels leaching in and out of the void, as if there is this story that's we're getting snapshots of that's leaking its way into or out of the reality we're seeing. There's also a really nice trick he does where a single image split into 4 panels, and we get the dialogue or the conversation and time passing over those 4 panels. It's a simple little trick, but it's very, very effective to show how time passes in still imagery. I've seen other writers do it and other artists do it, but it's really nice to see. It shows like a total understanding of form, and it looks brilliant. But to go back to the main character, the main point of this, it is her surviving through it. And the bit that keeps hitting home is she never knows one day for the next if the apocalypse she's seeing is just a movie or it's an actual apocalypse. It's the actual dystopia, the end. Because the government tries to make out that it's not really a bad thing that we get to see all these alternate futures where things go terribly wrong and universes are destroyed and humanity is lost, because mathematically they are as likely to be our future as one in infinity, which mathematically kind of makes sense, but because everything tends towards entropy, one of them will be true. And that setup is just brilliant and absolutely grabbed hold of me and held my attention the entire time. Absolutely love this comic book. Cannot wait for more. That's it for me now, though. Until I see you all again, look after yourself, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.